Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well wherever it is that you may be around the world. And yes, that Prem show is back. We are back to highlight week 13 of the Premier League games. I have got my guy with me as well, Ram. He is backstage. We're going to get him involved as well. But you know what you need to do before we move forward? Hit that like button. Subscribe to GNA TV as well. Subscribe to the channel. We are 5 away, guys. 5 away from 3.2k. I want to thank you guys because we've done 200 subscribers in about a week and a half. Like, we're moving at some rapid speed. GNA TV is growing, and it's growing at a weirdly very good speed. And I've got to big up everyone in the chat, the community, and everyone that's involved right now for helping us get there to do that. But make sure you go and get some snacks. Go and get yourself a nice tea or water or whatever it is that you're drinking at this time. Ram's going to be here, so nice entrance for him here, guys. Let's not all jump on him on the chat and that, you know. So, but before we move forward, let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. Over 11 of you here already, a minute in. Smash the like button. We have got my guy Ram back. He wasn't here last week. He let us down, but he is back with me to go through the Prem show. How you doing, Rami?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm glad to be back. And yeah, let's hope for another great show.
Another great show. Exactly that, mate. Definitely that. And listen, it's going to be the usual routine, guys. We're going to go through each fixture. We're going to give our thoughts and opinions. We're going to go through some of the squads. We're going to get you involved in the chat. I want you to give us your score predictions as well. Let us know what your thoughts and feelings are. And there's some big games. I mean, I went through it earlier on, just checking it out to see what sort of games that are going to be played this weekend. And there's some really good games. So it's definitely good for us to delve into and get involved. I don't know if it's me that's lagging or you, Ram, but can you hear me? You can.
I can hear you. Yeah, it's all good.
All right, cool. Yeah. Because I can see like you're moving very like glitchy at the moment. I don't know if it's me that mine or yours, but anyway. Guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel as always. Like I said, we're 5 away from 3.2k subscribers. Let's try and get to that today. We can easily do that. Share in all your socials as well. Let's let people know that GNA TV is live as we speak. Ram, good little performance yesterday from Liverpool. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a good performance. I mean, people will say it's a dead rubber, but for Porto, it wasn't, because if they had won, they would put themselves in a good position to qualify. But seeing as though we got the win, Thiago with an absolute that goal was it was oozing with class and sauce. It was so good. It wasn't lucky.
It wasn't lucky. That Thiago goal went through someone's legs. It was lucky.
Yeah, because he meant it. He meant it to go through someone's leg.
Here we go.
No, the actual saw, and you know when the ball, the movement of the ball, it just rises up off the ground because of the way he hit it. It was like, no,
Ram, if Salniguez done that, you would be like, it's lucky. Do not lie. Don't sit here and say that you wouldn't say, oh, it was a fluke. You would. You would.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would be like, fair play. The guy showed up. But Thiago started to make a point. Started to make a point of why he was one of the best midfielders in the world when we got him, or if not the best midfielder in the world. And like, it's only going to be bad for the rivals, because if you get a fully confident and fully going Thiago, it might be lights out for the league.
Listen, I was expecting a fully gone Thiago last season, you know, for his world class status, and he's been a flop. Let's be serious.
No.
Yeah. Just take it.
No.
He's been a flop.
I admit we should have got more from Thiago. There are other external factors to it. Maybe it was settling into the league. There was also he had COVID, and then obviously when he came back from COVID, it was the challenge of Richarlison that took him out for 3 months, and then after that he was just a bit meaty. But then in the last 10 games of the season, when we really needed him, he showed up. And now he's starting to produce magic like that. And if he continues doing that, it will only lead us to good things.
I think I'm glitching. I'm going a bit weird at the moment. My internet's playing around. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I keep cutting out. I can't see you at the moment. Let me come back in 2 seconds, Ram. Stay.
All right. All I'm saying, I know people in the comments are saying he didn't mean that and all that. Trust me. The player of Thiago Alcantara's caliber, he can do that kind of stuff on purpose. He was oozing with class. And also, I need to say, Tyler Morton yesterday, he started to prove that he's a little good little player. He's a good little player. Like he's very, how you say, his passing range is pretty good for his age. I mean, he'll only get better. And also he has a bit of a nasty streak in him, which I think in any lone pivot you need to have that. And obviously everyone knows how important the lone pivot to us. You know how good Fabinho is, but in our system he just took it to himself, and he just played his normal football. And look, I'm not going to be like some certain Chelsea fans saying, like they did with Billy Gilmore, saying he's the next Xavi or Iniesta. I think he can be an England international. Whether he's going to be a starter, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to be a fringe player. But
no, I hear
I
that.
think he's a good little player, and he's only going to be good for England. It's only going to be good for England. So yeah.
It's only good for it. I mean, England have got so much talent. It's just whether or not they're recognised and they get in the team, and that's the one thing I would say. We have to wait and see that one. But
my unpopular opinion, I think England's got the best talent in the world.
Yeah.
Over France and over Spain, I think.
No, I hear that. I do hear that. If my internet's playing around today, Ram, I can see it. The Wi-Fi is going up and down. I don't know why, but if I keep cutting, apologies to everyone. I have to keep coming back in. But we move on. Anyway, in the chat, we have got Undertaker CF declared. Big up to Noah as well. He says, big up, Jim. The scoreboard to be decisive because you will miss hella chances. Fair enough. He meant that Liverpool fans do believe in magic. That's why they don't believe in luck, is what Declared's saying.
Of course. I believe in a lot of things. I believe in magic. I believe in juju. I believe in everything. I've never say never to nothing. I've had so many experiences where there's just some mad stuff happening. I can never say never.
I hear that. I do hear that. The magic 2 trick Klopp to put him in starting 11. I don't know what that is. That's what he's saying there. It's coming out a bit late.
I think he's saying like he should use some of that magic to put himself into the team.
Welcome to once more to the home of the European champions, Ram, which is very true. Big up to Bex on that one.
I mean, we've already had that title as well, so I'm not at home. I just know where I am. I know where I am. It's all good. Yeah, Jem, you are a little bit.
I'm just gonna get someone downstairs to take himself off the Wi-Fi because my Wi-Fi's. Yeah, I know. 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second, because I think people on the Wi-Fi it's mucking me. Can you see me though? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you, but it's just a bit glitchy, and you sometimes cut in and out, which ain't yeah.
Oh, cool. That's fine. I mean, I don't know what at the moment, but I can't even bring up the things at the moment. It's just typical Tesco Wi-Fi. Tell me about it. It's been fine the last couple of weeks, and all of a sudden now it's playing around. Typical. Big up Ram and Gem and Rams. Billy Gilmore is a Scottish, not English Rams.
I mean,
Billy Gilmore is Scottish, not English.
Yeah, Gilmore is Scottish, but that still doesn't mean we've got amazing talent in England. Yeah. Thiago was awesome.
Cool. Let's move, Ram. Yeah, let's get into it, guys. Right. Match day 13 or 38. And we start with Arsenal at home against Newcastle. Making sure you guys can see it because my internet's moving like mad. Arsenal are 5th. Obviously, they did lose against Liverpool. They got a slapping by Liverpool. So it's their first loss in the last 5 games. They're on 20 points. Their goal difference is poor, -4. Played 12 games. And they're up against the Newcastle team that are just at the bottom. They're in tatters. Even Norwich have gone above them at the moment. Lost 2 and drawn 3. I mean, Ram, Newcastle going to actually get some points? Are they actually, even with the appointment of Eddie Howe, do you think Arsenal have got enough to do to get this done?
You know what? I was speaking to Conroy about this, about Eddie Howe, and he rates Eddie Howe a lot. People need to remember that Bournemouth team that he took over. Some of those players aren't even Premier League standard. Steve Cook, Charlie Daniels, Adam Smith, they're not Premier League standard. The only Premier League player that was even remotely good enough was Lewis Cook, that
Yeah.
midfielder who used to play for Leeds. He was a very
Yeah.
talented player. I think he was only about 20, 21 years old at the time. Even Callum Wilson at the time, he was bought from Coventry. So Eddie Howe's a very, very shrewd manager. And I know I've been saying Arsenal I haven't played anyone that was of a good caliber or even challenged them. This is a proper game because Newcastle on a little bit of a bounce because obviously they had a good they fought well against Brentford to get a draw. Some may say they were a little bit unlucky not to get the win. But also Arsenal was pammed. Arsenal, I mean, let's get it right. Jem, you were a little bit nice to Arsenal fans. They got smacked around and they got laid out in our gaff. I think it's going to be a close game. I really do. I think the manager bounce of Eddie Howe and Arsenal losing against us the way they did, I think it's going to be close. I really do.
Well, there is something new that's come up on this now, which is quite good actually. We've got the new win probability tab, so it gives you kind of an idea of what I don't know how they've based that on. If that's like what Google based the stats on and whatever, and what's happened up to now. But they've rated Arsenal to win this game 65%. A draw is around 20%. Newcastle to win is at 15%. That I would probably say a lot less than that, Ram. I'd probably say that they're probably 10% to win. I'd say 80% Arsenal to win. Yeah, 10% them to win and 10% draw. That's how tight I think it is in terms of the the two. But yeah,
on paper, Arsenal should be winning, no doubt.
3-4-0.
Exactly. It's at home. It's in front of your crowd, and look, yeah, I know you got humbling against Liverpool. Quite a lot of teams get humbling at Liverpool. The only team that didn't was
Chelsea.
Was
yeah,
Chelsea.
Unless you're Chelsea, we're Chelsea. It's a different story.
But I think Arsenal will be all right. I think Arsenal it's going to be close. I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Arsenal.
2-1, guys. You heard it in the chat. Over 30 of you already. 12 minutes in. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new as well. Give me your thoughts and predictions for this game, Arsenal versus Newcastle. Obviously, they were on the back of losing to Liverpool, but I think that's not really going to affect the mood for me in terms of Arteta and the squad. I think they could probably allow losing to Liverpool because of where Liverpool are at the moment in terms of their ability and their status. So
Arteta just needs to watch his mouth. Just don't try and do anything stupid like try and run up against our manager, who's about is like a feet taller than you and can lay you out. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. You don't. Why would you? Why I'm still baffled. Why would you actually do that in front of our fans? Because our fans is gonna back him all the day.
Yeah, but Lampard done it against Klopp. If you remember, I don't know if you remember watching that. They had a big argument on the side, and
that one I didn't. I was pissed off. But then again, there weren't any fans there, so he wouldn't get like abused like relentlessly.
No, I do hear that.
You have to learn from other people's mistakes, and you just don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do those kind of things.
Newcastle's defence is worst in the league. Arsenal will have a field day after a much-needed bounce back. It will be a 5-0 is what declared saying. Bex is saying 3-1. Untex CFC saying a draw for a 2-2. I think that Arsenal will win this and they will bounce back. And I think it will be either a 2 or a 3-0 win. I expect ESR to score, Aubameyang to maybe get one. And I don't really care who gets the last one, to be honest. Maybe a goal from one of their centre-backs, to be honest. But you're expecting them to win. And the win probability margin, as well as you can see, is heavily in favour of Arsenal to do that. But just quickly on Newcastle, Ram. Could they potentially get relegated, but at the same time have the richest owners in football? Have you put them two together? It's just weird, isn't it? They've gone and bought Newcastle, who could get relegated, and they're not even going to be able to buy the players or attract the players that they want because they're going to be in the Championship.
I think the appointment of Eddie Howe was sort of like was a safe bet. Eddie Howe has the capabilities of saving Newcastle from relegation, but also if they get relegated, he will get them straight back up. It will be a bit weird at first, but then long term they're not gonna be in the Championship for long. They're just gonna go straight back up. It's a yo-yo.
Yeah, it's peak. It's peak.
Yeah.
Aubameyang and Lakabunda aren't scoring. Neither is Amelia. Amelia, God. Fair enough, guys. Fair enough. There you go. I'm going for either a 2 or 3-0 win. Ram's gone with what'd you say, Ram?
2-1.
2-1. Do you think they can get in the chip before we move on? Do you think Arsenal can get it into a Champions League spot, or do you think they should concentrate in Europe?
They should just concentrate on getting European football. Enough of this talk about Champions League, because they're underestimating the teams that are around them. West Ham people forget West Ham have a very good squad. They have a very good team. They've got a very good manager. Quite a lot of their players are international footballers as well that play for good teams.
Yeah.
They need to just calm their hype a little bit. Like, you've been on a good run. You've beaten the likes of Watford, the likes of Leicester, who I think have been absolutely shocking this season.
Yeah.
And the likes of who else have they played?
They've had an
Burnley.
easy run. Let's put it that way. As good as all right, they've won a lot of games, but the games that they've played, they should be winning. And I'm sure a lot of them were played at home as well. They had a lot of home games, so I can remember as well. But yeah, I agree. The reason I quickly clicked into their games is to see what their December period's like, because 7 games in December is a lot of Premier League games. They have got Man United and Man United next after Newcastle, Everton away. All right, they're not in the greatest form. Never an easy game still. Southampton at home should have enough, but can be tricky on its day. West Ham, we know how good form they are in. They could definitely beat Arsenal. Leeds, they'll probably beat, but Leeds will get a goal. And then
really touch and go with Leeds.
Yeah, touch and go. Norwich will beat. Well, I mean, Norwich are at home, they'll beat Norwich, and Wolves it will be a tricky game. And then they've got Man City and Tottenham. So their fixture list is definitely a lot harder than what it was prior to. Let's have a look at their fixture list prior to that, because they did have. All right, from Tottenham onwards, from the October, they've played Brighton, Palace, Aston Villa, Leeds, Leicester away, Watford, and then they had Liverpool. So you'd say, barring maybe Leicester, they're winnable games, aren't they? But they won them.
You have to apply context to all these games, John. Like, if you scroll up to the first game, scroll up to the Brighton game.
Yeah.
A little bit. Scroll up a little bit.
Yeah.
You got Brighton. They had Brighton, and then they had Crystal Palace. 2 very decent teams, very well coached by 2 up and coming managers, and they struggled. They were lucky to get a draw out of Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace, if they had a sense of game management, they would have won the game easily. Aston Villa, this was pre-Steven Gerrard, where they lost 5 games on the bounce. They weren't that good. They played a 5-back system that didn't work at all, because their players have never played that in their lives, and the balance was just not there.
Yeah.
And they played Leicester, who are I've said this before. I think Leicester are done. I don't think they're going to be challenging for the top 4 anymore.
Yeah,
Brendan Rodgers is not, like, I get it. 1 year I can let off. 2 years not getting Champions League football in the situations that they have. They bottled both situations. I can't.
It's unforgivable. Yeah, no, I agree.
And then Watford had chances. Watford had chances to win the game. They just didn't have a clinical striker. And then Liverpool.
Yeah.
It was apparently the best time to play Liverpool, and they got slapped.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't understand why Arsenal fans were not worried about it, because if it was the so-called best time to play Liverpool, where we just came back from a loss, which all Arsenal fans said, I can categorically, and I can get the evidence up for you. Every Arsenal fan said this is the best time to play Liverpool, and they got slapped. And they're like, oh, but they just came back from a loss. They're gonna be riled up. They're gonna be coming out all guns blazing. That's not what you said before. You said it was the best time to play Liverpool.
Best time to play them, yeah. No, I hear that.
It's just a flip-flopping of all these Arsenal fans. And I'm like, you know what? The only Arsenal fans that I think have a semblance of like continuity, I guess, is Jess, Lee Judges. Lee Judges never expected anything from that game. And I think those are the only 2 that had a semblance of realism. Everyone else was just like...
Yeah, but that's Arsenal. That's the Arsenal fan base for you, isn't it? That's why I don't really take them seriously. Like they're so reactionary based on 1 game or 2 games that they think that they're like this. They're back, for example. That's why I always say you're back. You always go, you're back. They're back. They're back. Like Lee Gunner is another one that Abdi's saying.
Lee Judge and Lee Gunner. They both said the same thing. They didn't expect nothing.
Let's move on, shall we? And we're moving on to your team. Right, so Liverpool are sitting 3rd, 25 points, 4 points behind Chelsea. Have won their last 3 out of 5 games. They're up against a Southampton team, who are 13th, have improved slightly. I mean, well, they lost the last game, but they've won 3 of their last 5 games. They're on 14 points. Rams, Southampton worry you a little bit? Is there anyone that you think might be a problem? Danny Ings, not Danny Ings, Danny Ings, Brozier or Livramento, if they're playing these individuals, do you think they could cause issues?
Yeah, I mean, every team has their own little strong points. I think Adam Armstrong is a guy that worries me a little bit. Livramento, and I don't know if he's playing Ward-Prowse. I don't even know if Ward-Prowse is playing, but if he is, he's always going to be a danger. But that still doesn't mean that we can't go there and show them who's one of the best teams in the world. I think it's going to be, well, it should be a standard 2-0 win minimum. It should be. But with Liverpool, we don't know what's going to happen. And we don't even know who's fit yet. I mean, people are saying Curtis Jones will be back. They say Jota may be back. But I think Origi deserves a little bit of a chance to play in these games. So, yeah, I'd say a 2-0 win.
2-0 win.
We'll just have to, I don't know who's going to be playing because...
Listen, I don't think Liverpool have any excuses not to win this game. I expect them to win 2-3-0 again. I expect Mo Salah to score. Sadio Mane, who we can talk about a little bit, has slowly found form again. When you look at his form last season, he's a completely different player. And for me, he's slowly finding that great form that he had when he was very successful, when Salah and him were banging in the goals as well. I don't really think Southampton are too much of a worry for you. I would say that they have got players that can hurt you if you are sloppy. Like they I think Armstrong can get a goal. I think Brozier can score. I think Livramento. Yeah, Shea Adams on his day is a headache.
Yeah, I forgot to say he's on good form as well. He just came back from a very good international period with Scotland. He was amazing for them. So he's going to be up and firing. He scored last game against Norwich as well. So they got a couple of good players, man. But I still think we should win. We should win.
You should win. And I mean, we can have a quick look at their top goal scorers and where their goals are coming from. And Brozier and Adam Armstrong have both scored 2 goals each. Shane Long's not played. Shea Adams has got 2 goals as well. So 2 goals, maybe not the greatest of forms, but 2 from each wins you games, especially for your first 11 or 12 games, I guess, depending on when they're scored. James Ward-Prowse has got 2 goals as well. And then, Livermento's got 1. I don't know. Really, to be honest, you look at that forward line, they've got enough to cause Liverpool problems on their day if Liverpool don't turn up. But at the same time, you look at their defence. Is it good enough to contain the Mo Salahs? Is it good enough to contain the Manes? I mean, I don't think so.
Kyle Walker-Peters. Look, Kyle Walker-Peters is a talented right back, but he's just not at that level. I think Bednarek isn't that great. I think Jack Stevens isn't that great. But I don't even know. Is Ryan Bertrand still playing for them?
No,
he's at Villa, isn't he?
Villa, isn't he?
Yeah. So I think we should be winning. We should be winning.
I hear that. People in the chat saying 3-0 to Liverpool, 2-1. We've got here 1-1 is what Global's saying. You think it's a draw? Potentially. I hear that. If we look at the win probabilities, Liverpool are 75% favourites to win this game. Southampton have only got a minor 10% with a 15% opportunity of drawing this game. I actually think, from my perspective, that should be more 65 Liverpool. And then maybe a bit more for Southampton, say 20%. I'd say 20% to Southampton potentially winning, and then the rest made up from a draw. That's what I would say, to be honest. I think that probability is that you should win is still high from 65%, but 75%. I don't know. I think you guys have been a little bit shady at home in certain games. You have dropped points, haven't you, as well?
Yeah. But then again, we are coming in from a very good performance against Porto. So it can work. And Arsenal as well. So it can work both ways. I think that means it still doesn't mean we shouldn't be beating them 2-0 minimum. So
I'm having a look at your December period, and it's not easy. I mean, the Southampton game's fine. Everton away is a Merseyside derby. I still expect you to win that, but it's still a derby. That will be easy on its day. Wolves away, I'll tell you, Wolves are a team for me that can cause many teams issues at the moment. Many teams issues.
Jimenez,
if they're on their day and they're firing, that ain't an easy game for Liverpool. Milan, I
Dead
mean, you're
rubber.
through anyway. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
just
we're
play as a dead
first.
rubber. It's not worried about, so you can rest. Villa at home. I mean, under Steven Gerrard, what a return that will be back to Anfield. You know,
Yeah.
how is he going to get them playing? Can he fire them up? They've got a good enough team for me to hurt. You know, most teams if they can get them firing. You'll beat Newcastle and Tottenham away. Again, I don't think you should be worried about it because I don't. That's
Touch and
even with
go as well.
yeah, even with Conte, I don't think they're great. But yeah, again, if he gets them firing and fighting and playing for the
It's a
team,
bit
then
like when
he'll
he
probably
first joined Chelsea. It was
yeah,
that first month. First couple of months he wasn't convincing. Like you guys really struggled.
yeah.
And then after a while, it started clicking into gear, and then you guys just went on to win the league. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like it's the
facts,
same thing.
facts. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how Liverpool get through that period. It's a big period. I would say December really, for me, determines quite a lot in terms of whether you're challenging, whether you're winning, whether you're there or not. So
Mm.
we'll have to see what happens. But Liverpool should win for me. Like I said, 2-3-0, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane. Jota's fit, isn't he? Jota will probably get a
Jota
goal.
will be fit, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be an easy win for me. Guys, before we move forward, over 50 of you here, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to GNA TV as well. We're 5 away from hitting the magic 3.2k, so please help us get to that. We have got a lot more shows going forward. We've still got the Man United preview, which will either be tomorrow or Saturday. Haven't determined yet. We'll let you guys know. Obviously, the game's Sunday as well. Still not entirely sure how I'm going to do that, what I'm going to do, if we're going to do a reaction show straight after or not. But it's a lot coming ahead for you guys. Norwich versus Wolves. Now, Norwich did win their last game, didn't they? I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming so. Yes,
They
they did.
beat
They've won their last
Southampton.
2 games, actually. So they're on a little bit of form, from Deadwood. They've now got 8 points. They're up against the Wolves team for me that have just, they were 13th, 14th and were struggling. And now they're way up to 6th on 19 points. Won 3 of their last 5 games in contention of maybe, pipping Arsenal for the spot, keeping the pressure on West Ham for that 4th place as well. They are away. Looking at the win probability margins, they've only given Wolves a 44% chance of winning round, which I find very weird based on their form. And Norwich 27% opportunity of winning this game against Wolves. But the draw margin is quite big in itself, nearly 30% in draw margins. I mean, what's your thoughts on this one, Ram?
People need to remember is that new manager bounce. Dean Smith's come in and he's really taken on the Norwich City job.
Yeah.
That still doesn't mean Wolves should be beating them. I think Wolves have a lot more quality than, or they don't. I don't think is a fact. They have more quality than Norwich, but I don't know. Norwich, I feel like the new manager bounce is very strong, and I think Wolves are going to struggle a bit. I think it might be a draw. I think it might be a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw, people. You heard what Ram says in the chat. What's your thoughts on this game? Norwich versus Wolves. Let us know in the chat. We'll bring up your scores as well. If you want to predict who's going to score, you can do that. I think it's going to be a Wolves win. I agree in terms of manager bounce, but I think Wolves are in a very good form at the moment. In Adama Traore, Jimenez. I think Jimenez is slowly starting to fire again. That he's got that eye for goal again. And it did take him a bit of time, but you can appreciate that based on the injury that he had prior to this. So
Yeah.
I think Wolves are definitely win this, at least for me, 2-0. It has to be a 2-0 win. I mean, Couch just said 2 as well. I think 2-0 is a good shout. And I'd go with Jimenez to score. I like Trincao. He's another player that I think is very talented, a talented
Barcelona lad.
individual for Wolves. Yeah, exactly. They should have enough, even with Norwich and the bounce back and Billy Goatmore in midfield. I still think that they'll be a lot better. But
You are
no way.
so
No,
shameless.
no, with Billy Gilmore in the side, Norwich can get a draw. Fair enough. I hear that. 2-1 Wolves is what Global CFC is saying as well. Yeah, we move. Let's move on. Let's move on from this game and we move on to Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Interesting game because Palace are at home, sitting in 10th. They've drawn 3-1-2, 16 points on the table. They're up against the Aston Villa team that have won their last game. Steven Gerrard with the bounce back. Made a bit of a manager bounce there. 13 points sitting in 15th. They do need to get themselves up the table as quickly as possible because it's not looking good for them at the moment. In terms of the probability margin, Crystal Palace are the favourites by 44%. Bearing in mind they're at home. Villa have got a 28% win probability along with a 28% draw probability as well. I mean, Ram, hard game to predict, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. People are going to say there's an element of bias, obviously, because Villa's manager is obviously Steven Gerrard. But again, new manager bounce is a strong thing. I saw their game against is it Brighton? It was Brighton, and they played, and they weren't convincing, but they scored two pretty good goals. I thought man of the match was Matty Cash at that game. Matty Cash was
Of course he
very.
is. Of course he is.
And people say he's biased because I like Matty Cash, but no, I think he was incredible. Him going down that right hand side was a huge problem. Unlucky not to get a penalty as well. They should have got a penalty in my opinion. A bit of a clumsy challenge from Webster, I think. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be a little bit boring again. I think it's gonna be another draw. I think it's gonna be a 2-2 draw. It's gonna be a high scoring game.
2-2 draw is what Ram is saying for this game. And do you know what? I'm going to agree with you on this one. I do think it can be a draw. I'm going for a 1-1. I actually think Conor Gallagher's going to get a goal. And in terms of Villa, I've got a feeling Danny Ings, if he's fit and he's playing, obviously I don't know if he's fit, but if he is, I've just got this feeling Danny Ings is going to, I think Danny Ings is going to wake up a bit playing under Gerrard. I think it will play through him as well. When you look at what I haven't watched enough of Gerrard in terms of his system. I don't know about you, Ram, but I've not seen enough of him to know how he sets up and etc. and how he likes to play. But I think Gerrard will look at Danny Ings and go, right, there's our goal scorer. We need to build around him. We need to make sure that we get him, in front of goal, create enough chances for him. If they do that, then I think Aston Villa will be quite successful, and they have the creativity in Buendia, who is great at doing that, and Bailey as well, isn't it? They've got
Leon
as well.
Bailey.
Yeah, Leon Bailey. So rest to see.
I watched a couple of Gerrard's games for Rangers, and obviously there is a similarity in the system to Klopp's, except the wingers that he utilizes aren't like goal scorers in a sense. They're very much like 10. So obviously they had Ryan Kent and Yanis Hadji, who are both very creative midfielders, or wingers, shall I say. And I think there's similarity with Emi Buendia and Leon Bailey in that sense. I think it was wrong for him to play Ollie Watkins on the left. It didn't fit. The system didn't fit. I think he won't start Danny Ings. I think he'll start Ollie Watkins up front because he scored that very good goal in the last game. And obviously the fullbacks, the way he's utilised them is very similar to Rangers. Borna Barisic and James Tavernier, Matty Cash and Matt Target are very similar to those kind of players. So I think he's a good fit for him, and I think he should start playing Leon Bailey a lot more. I mean, I'm not saying it because I've seen him play in Bundesliga, but he's just got something about him. He's very direct, very quick, very skillful, and could be very, very penetrating at the same time. So I think Leon Bailey should get more game time under Gerrard, in my opinion.
You think he has a lot of pressure to succeed at Villa? Like if he doesn't, say he does have a bad spell and he does get fired, do you think? What do you think that would do for him in terms of the manager himself? Do you think it'll be a bit like the Lampard situation where it would just? Because I mean, the Lampard managing Chelsea is a bigger thing than doing Villa. Don't get me wrong, but do you think that will affect him as a manager, especially trying to get a job in the Premier League, maybe that Liverpool job, for example, in the future?
I mean, ideally, I don't want him to go to Liverpool just yet. I mean, in 2024, I've always maintained that I wanted after Klopp it will be Nagelsmann, and then if he's ready, he'll come to Liverpool at around about 2027, 2028.
Yeah.
I think Nagelsmann is the better fit. Nagelsmann's obviously working with Bayern. This is the first time he's working with a top team, and you're seeing how he's sort of struggling, but he's also doing quite well. It's very inconsistent. They obviously lost to Augsburg in their last game, which was a massive shock, and they were scraped past Dynamo Kiev. So I think when Klopp goes, Nagelsmann will be ready for a top team. So I think after the Klopp will be Nagelsmann, and then if Gerrard's ready, which I think he will be ready by then, in about 7 or 8 years, then then he can come in and take over. But it doesn't matter even if he fails. I still think he's gonna go somewhere and learn his trade and then come back. But then Aston Villa when Aston Villa signed him up, it was for a long-term thing. I really don't think it was for him to leave at 2024. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear that. I do hear that. We'll have to see. Guys, get them likes up. Let's try and get to 40 likes. Nearly 60 of you here already. So smash the like button for GNA TV as well. Please subscribe. We are 5 away from hitting the 3.2k mark. So it'd be nice to try and do that on this stream as well, guys. So please help get them likes up. Share on your socials as well. Just let people know that we're live as well. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to Brighton versus Leeds. Brighton being at home. They're up against the Leeds team. I mean, Brighton's actually sitting in ninth. You know, have digressed since their great start to the beginning of the season. 17 points, three draws, 2 losses, and they're up against the Leeds team who are having their own problems themselves. Really, it's 11 points, 2 losses, 2 draws, and 1 win. And they are away. This is going to be quite an interesting game because you look at the win probability. Obviously, Brighton are favourites to win it by 46%. Leeds' win probability is the same as their drawing as well at 27%. Do you see goals in this game, Ram, in terms of the styles of football that both of these teams like to play?
No, I really don't think there's going to be a lot. They both play attacking football, but it's one of those situations where 2 teams play attacking football and they don't end up scoring. I think it will be I think Brighton will win. I think it'll be a 2-1 win to Brighton. I think Rafinha will definitely score for Leeds. But I'll say Lewis Dunk can probably, I don't know, maybe Trossard will get a goal. I think it's going to be a game of chances, and they'll just both be wasteful. So yeah, I'll go 2-1 win to Brighton.
2-1 win for Brighton is what Ram's saying. Global CFC says 1-1. I'm going for a draw, 2-2 draw. I think there will be goals. I just think Leeds only really know how to play one way, which will leave them open. And I think Brighton have a good enough team to maybe penetrate that. So I go for it like Noah, 2-2 for Brighton and Leeds. Both teams that really need the points, really, when you look at their last 5 games, they've digressed in form as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that game is. I mean, it's a 5:30 kickoff on a Saturday, actually. So it's after the 3 p.m. kickoffs as well. So interesting stuff. We do move on from the Brighton game. And we move on to starting to get tasty now. We still got Brentford, Everton, Man City, West Ham, Leicester, Watford, Burnley, Tottenham, and the big game at the end, Chelsea versus Manchester United. And we will be doing that the major preview show for that either tomorrow or the next day, guys. So please make sure that you stay tuned in for that. Subscribe to the channel as well. But we do jump on to Brentford versus Everton, and Brentford's win probability is 43 to Everton's 28, which is shocking when you look at the players that Everton have, the manager, etc. They've got a 29%. They've got more chance of drawing than they have winning, is what that win probability is saying against Brentford. And when you look at the form, it's probably why. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games, people. They've only drawn 1 on 15 points in 11th. Everton, I don't think that's too good. And you look at Brentford, who had a great start as well. They're in torrid form. They've only drawn 1 and lost 4 of the last 5 games. I mean, they are at home and they do play a different style of football, Ram, in Brentford. But who's winning this one, Brentford or Everton?
I don't know. This one, I really don't know. It's difficult because Everton aren't playing well. They're not playing good football. The players that they have aren't really doing much on the pitch. Brentford is a bit on and off. Again, like you said, the start of the season they came in like a bull in a china shop, and then next thing you know, the last 5 games they only drew 1 of the last 5, and the rest of them were L's. I actually don't know. I honestly don't know what the score is.
Right, you got to give us an answer, man. There's nearly 80 people here. They want to hear your answer to Brentford versus Everton. Come on, what are you saying?
It's so hard because they've both been crap. They've both been dead. They've both been dead in the last 5 games, and they've both been so out of form. Their players have been so meh. Brentford against Newcastle, yeah, Tony was good, but everything else was so bad. Like, I'm gonna be safe again. I'm gonna go for a draw. You know what? I'm gonna go for a 0-0 draw.
0-0 draw. Ram is boring today, people. All we keep saying is draw, 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 draw. Do you know what I mean? It's literally just sitting
Right.
on the fence, as they say. People like sitting on the fence is what Ram's doing right now.
Right. If I'm sitting on that fence, I'm getting splinters up my ass. I don't care. I don't care.
You're
They've
not
just
alone.
been so bad. They've both been bad.
Well, you're not alone, because a lot of people are saying draws. Some are saying wins. 2-1 to Everton. 1-0 is what VJ saying. Big up to VJ. Everton win this game purely on the merits of better player and coach. I'm going to go on the flip side of this, and I'm going to say that I think Brentford will win this game. And I don't think it will be tight. I think it will be a 2-1. And I'm going to go based on the reason of that. I think they're more organised in their system. Not even the individual players. I just think they work better as a team on their day than maybe what an Everton does, which is very weird when you've got someone like Rafa Benitez as your coach. Rams is always boring, is what Nick Blue's saying. 1-1.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
1-1. 2-0 Brentford is what Thompson's saying. Big up to him. Doctor is saying Brentford will win because Everton's defence is dead. So he's going for a 2-0 2-0 win to Brentford. Big up to you as well.
I'm all for the Everton hate. Everton, I after last season where they just annoyed me so much, obviously with what happened with Pickford and Van Dijk, and them being annoying, I just want them to get slapped every single week. I want them slapped. I want everyone to deal with them, and then we will deal with them ourselves. Like,
fair enough.
They deserve it.
Let's move on to, let's get into the tasty games. I can't say tasty games, but obviously Leicester, Watford, maybe not. Burnley, Tottenham will be a good game to talk about as well. Manchester City versus West Ham, 2 p.m. kickoff on the Sunday. In terms of the probability margin, and this is where I think it's quite harsh, Ram, 74% of the percentage is going to Man City beating West Ham. 10% goes to West Ham, and then 16% is a draw. In terms of Man City and West Ham and their form, it is very similar. They've both won 4 games, and they've both only lost 1 in their last 5 games. So they've got the same sort of form. In terms of points, there's only 3 points between them. In terms of goal difference, Man City have scored 10 more goals than them. I mean, all right, Man City are at home, Ram, but West Ham are not any pushovers, are they? So what are you saying?
Yeah, this win probability is does West Ham a bit of a disservice. I know they lost against Wolves last game, and it wasn't a very good performance from them. But West Ham still got quality. They've got quality players. This is going to be a very exciting game. I know I'm going to go for it. The normal City will win kind of thing, but it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be City 3, West Ham United 1 with a counter-attack goal in the last minute. That kind of thing, you know what I mean? Where West Ham will be chasing, and then City will get them in the counter-attack.
No, I do hear that. I want to quickly have a look at West Ham and their squad, because they are performing very well. They are getting goals across the pitch. Ogbonna's got 1. Cresswell's got 1. Let's have a look. Who else has got 1? Zuma's got 1. Ben Johnson's got 1. Lanzini's got 1. Fornals has got 4. Fornals has got 4. Sorry, Lanzini's got none. Fornals has got 4. Souček's got 1, who I was expected to score more based on his performances in the past as well.
Yeah.
Declan Rice has got 1. And then you go down to here, and then it gets in. Said Benrahma, 3 goals and 3 assists. Gerard Bowen, 2 goals and 4 assists. Mikel Antonio, 6 goals in 11 games and 3 assists. I mean, they're finding goals everywhere. So it's not at a point where if you mark Antonio out the game, you win the game. Do you get what I mean? It's kind of more of a thing of they're getting goals across the pitch, which is why I think that, yes, Man City should win, but I just don't think they should be taken lightly. I do think if they defend well, they could really cause Man City problems, maybe get a draw. I just think that the win probability margin, which we was looking at just now, it's not really fair. Like when you think about
fair at all.
I mean, 10%. They're saying 10% for West Ham to beat Man City. I don't know about that.
That's more of a chance of Newcastle beating Arsenal, which sounds mad. I know Arsenal, but West Ham can do something. They can give them a good fight. They've got good players as well. I know
It don't
City,
make
they're
sense.
coming back from a massive high. They came back against PSG. They slapped Everton around in the last Premier League game. But West Ham, don't forget how good West Ham are. That's what I would say.
Don't disrespect them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
They're not full for no reason. And like I said, if you look at their last 5 games, they're on par with Man City in form at the moment. So it's not
yeah,
like they're not
exactly.
playing well. And people forgetting they've not played easy teams through that period as well. They've played some hard games and won them as well. So come on, you Irons, Doctor. You must be a West Ham fan. Big up to you. This is 2-1 West Ham. Moyes knows how to play against these big teams. We can expose uh, either of Laporte or Stones, but I am scared of Cancelo and Sterling. I mean, how good is Cancelo at the moment, Ram?
Cancelo have always been a massive admirer because I remember him coming through at Benfica. He was very talented player, got a lot of raw pace and ability on the ball. But when he moved to Valencia, he was just a bit out of touch, out of form.
Mm,
Juventus, he sort of revitalized his career. And now when I saw Man City bought them, I was like, yeah, it's going to be a real struggle for anyone to compete with Man City. And look, he's been incredible this season. He's been very good. Been playing on the
yeah,
left hand side, which sort of suits his kind of game because he can just cut in on that right foot and just whip it in
yeah, no,
post. So yeah, he's been very good this season.
yes,
Very impressed with
yes.
him.
Joey's saying West Ham will win 2-1 or draw 2-2. He's also saying going to be a few stinkers this week. Trust me, Jem. Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Put it that way. Big up to
To
Sam
be
Allardyce.
fair, that's not a bad shout because last PL game, everyone sort of blew their load. They all scored about 3 or 4 goals in each game, which was kind of mad. Not gonna lie.
Sam Allardyce is in the chat. Big up to you. Said he's waiting for the United job, but they haven't called him yet. So big up to him as well.
Nah, Carrick's at the wheel, innit? Carrick's at the wheel.
If Crystal Palace can beat City at the Etihad, West Ham definitely have a chance. That's a fair shout, TJK, mate. Honestly, that is a fair shout, and that is true. And
Mm.
what I'm saying is, you are able to beat Man City. You are able to beat Liverpool. I would say you're able to beat Chelsea based on the way we played at the moment, because I think we're probably more in a better position than you guys based on our form at the moment. But yeah, Cancelo's been good this season. Big up to Roca. He's saying, just feel Sal will be the new Chelsea left wing back because he played
Oh
last season in
my god.
Atletico too. Hold that thought because we are coming to Chelsea versus Man United. That is the last game. So make sure you stay tuned. Over 120 of you here. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We're 4 away from hitting 3.2k subscribers. Who's going to be that one person that takes us to 3.2k will be my thing. So please help us get to that. Get the likes up as well. Should be over 50 likes now as well. Better call Sal is what we're saying here. But listen, I'm going with either a draw 1-1 or I'm going to go with a City win 2-1. I don't think it will be as easy as they think. I don't think it'll be a 3-4-0. I just don't see that happening. So we move from this game and we do move on to the last 2 games. Burnley, Tottenham, Chelsea versus Man United. We do have to talk Burnley, Tottenham. The probability of Tottenham beating Burnley is 48% to their 26. Same as their drawing percentage, 26%. And in terms of form, they are 7th. They've won 2 of their last 5 games. Obviously, Conte getting that win at home. And then they're playing against a Burnley team who are just out of form, really. They just draw. Maybe win 1, lose 1. You know, they're suffering. They are suffering. Don't get me wrong. But, Ram, from what you've seen of Conte, and I know it's very early to then base it on what you saw last game, but do you not feel like they were quite lucky in that game?
I guess so. But then again, you can also look at it this way. I feel as though sort of Conte sort of woke them up in a sense, saying like you are losing against a team that are struggling to get wins, and then all of a sudden they just turned it on again, started playing proper football again. So I looked at it like that. I still, again, it's like Conte still started getting a feel of the Tottenham team, like he did with that Chelsea team. And once it clicks into gear, it's going to be very peak for all the rivals who's trying to challenge the top 4. So yeah, I say Tottenham are still going to scrape this one. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to Tottenham.
I do hear that. My thing with this with Conte going to Spurs, and I want to talk about it a little bit, is that I look at the players that he's managing, and in Reguilon, I think he's a perfect fit for Conte in terms of the way he plays. I think he'll benefit a lot from it. But then you look at the other individuals that do play at the back. I think Romero can really become a player under him. I really do. But Eric Dyer, Ben Davies, Tananga, Roden, Sanchez. For me, and you look at their midfield as well, right? They've got Emerson Royale, who could be a hit. We don't know yet. Pierre Højbjerg, Winks, Lo Celso, Dele Alli, and Ndombele. Secession, who's been brought back as well, who played. Skip, who Spurs fans absolutely adore and rate.
Yeah.
I don't think their squad. What I'm trying to get is that you look at the overall squad and what they have, barring Kane and Son, and even when you look at their forwards, Lucas Moura is getting older. Bergwijn doesn't play. Brian Gill doesn't play that much. They don't. The squad itself there's a lot of deadwood, and I just don't know how Conte is going to be able to elevate certain individuals like Eric Dyer, like Winks, for example. How is he going to Lo Celso? How is he going to elevate them to a level where that they can challenge? I just think they've got too many problems with players at the team, and this is why I think Conte may not last.
You forget he did it with your team as well. Like Victor Moses made him look like a seasoned veteran right wing back, which made no sense at all. He made David Luiz in a back three look semi decent, and everyone was saying prior that he it was a bit of a dumb signing because he got spun around by Luis Suarez against PSG in the Champions League, and everyone was saying, "You're buying him back? Is that really what you're kind of trying to do?" He's made a lot of players look a lot better than they actually are. I don't see why you can't do that with Tottenham. I still think Dele Alli should be gone. Dele Alli just lost the hunger. He doesn't want to. In the words of Roy Keane, he just doesn't have the fight. Doesn't have the hunger anymore.
1 goal in 8 games as well. Not impressive.
Look at what is that? This was meant to be a guy that was meant to challenge Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard as England's best midfielder in the 21st century. He ain't doing that. He ain't doing that. And I said this before, even when there was the hype about Dele Alli, that man, he's not at that level. The difference in styles of players that Gerrard and Lampard were is completely to Dele Alli. Maybe Dele Alli was a bit similar to Lampard in a sense.
Yeah.
But again, he doesn't have the hunger. He doesn't have the work ethic to be anywhere near the likes of Lampard and Gerrard. So, yeah, I say no.
No, I do hear that. And he did elevate a lot of Chelsea players by coming in. But the one thing you do forget is that there was a lot of players in that Chelsea team at that point that were experienced, that had won things in the past, that had the grit, the know. Do you know what I mean? When you look at this Tottenham team, who's won what? Who's the leader? Who's the experienced? I mean, all right, Son and Kane, cool. They're great. But there's no... Well, yeah, all right, Lloris, winning mentality. Lloris, I'll give you that one. But it's not enough. That's what I'm trying to get. It's just not enough, And
Højbjerg's won stuff for Bayern when he was a teenager, but then again, there's a reason why Bayern didn't want to hold on to him that much, because he just wasn't at that level, and maybe they sort of regret it in the end, but again, not enough. It's not enough. You need players all around the pitch, not here, there, or just a little bit everywhere. You need it all around.
We have Kai in the chat saying, yeah, but Son and Kane are super elite, better than anything Arsenal have. That is probably true in terms of levels of play, individual players.
No, you can't say that, because apparently Ramsdale's the best goalkeeper on form and the best goalkeeper in the world. And Ben White is some next level Rio Ferdinand, and Kieran Tierney's apparently better than Robertson.
And Partey's the best defender.
Partey's the best DDM, better than Joshua Kimmich. And who else is there? Oh, sorry, Emil Smith-Rowe is the best number 10 in the world.
Yeah, the world.
Bukayo Saka is going to be the next Ballon d'Or winner. You can't say all those things, Kai. They got a lot of good stuff. They got a lot of good players.
Brocar, big up to you again for the donations. It's for Man United game. I'm confident Silver or James will pocket CR7. We're going to talk Chelsea, Manchester United next. It's the last game, but there's over 140, nearly 140 of you here, guys. Smash that like button. Let's get them likes up. We are 3 away from hitting 3.2k subscribers. Now, everyone that's in the chat, if you haven't subscribed when you're new here, please subscribe now. Hit the bell notification as well. That'll let you guys know when we're live. We have got a Discord channel as well. We're going to be doing the Chelsea previews either tomorrow and Saturday to get you guys involved as well. So make sure you stay with GNA TV. There's so much going on over the week as well. Constantly bringing you streams to keep you entertained wherever it is that you are in the world. But we're going on to thank you for the donation, Rokaj. Well, appreciate that, mate. I don't listen to Arsenal fans. They are mentally ill, don't even have a UCL. That's what he's saying here.
Kai, that's the thing, man. Apparently, Aubameyang's better than Jota this season.
Yeah.
Apparently, he is. Like they've said all these things. I'm just telling you how they talk, man. I'm just saying how they're saying it.
Well, we got my guy here. I know he's an Arsenal fan. I've seen it as well. World class, super elite players at Arsenal. Arteta's at the wheel is what we got here. Big up to you. If Arsenal fans can talk this much when their team plays this bad, I wonder what they'll talk if they win the Champions League. I hope they never do that. I'll tell you that. But we move. I think Tottenham will win this game. At least 2-0. I think Conte will bounce on this one. But they could easily draw it. Burnley can be a headache, but Burnley are in no real form to actually do anything. Which means we move on to the big game, Ram. The big game of the weekend. Chelsea versus Man United. Chelsea are sitting top with 29 points. Man United are sitting in 8th with 17 points. Lost 4, only won once. Chelsea have won 4, drawn 1. Goal difference plus 26. Only 2 more than what Liverpool have got. They could obviously catch us up on that before we play Man U on the weekend. And we have got a 4 points difference between us at the moment. Ram, Chelsea, Man United. Who are you betting on? And obviously, I want to talk a bit about Ben Chilwell as well. He is out. Who do you think's taking this one, mate? Come on, tell us.
Chelsea.
Why? Why are you so confident? That's what I want to know.
You're just better. You're just better in every shape. Even player for player, you're better. Mendy's been better than De Gea this season. Reece James is miles better than Wan-Bissaka. I don't understand why people think Wan-Bissaka is a good defender. He's not. He doesn't have a good defensive mind. I know people like to the chat about Maldini doesn't, when he slide tackles, it means that he's done something wrong. It is a bit of a hyperbole, but Maldini, like even when Maldini was a left back, Cafu, they all had incredible defensive brains. They always, whenever I hear someone say, whenever I heard him say, "Oh, I let the player run through so I can tackle him," that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing at all. Because if you let them through and they go past you, what do you do then? What do you do then? So his mindset is not of a proper defender. I've been saying this for time. Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, because Rafael Varane, Champions League Varane, is not even getting the game time.
I told you he's a pace merchant from the beginning.
No, not even now. He's moving worse than Matip. He's moving worse than Matip when it comes to injuries. And Matip is very, very injury prone. So Maguire and Lindelof, I mean, Rudiger, Thiago Silva gets in there, no problem. Left back, Shaw has been a shadow of who he was. Shaw has been an absolute shadow of who he was last season. Apparently better than Andrew Robertson. Let you guys work that one out. You got a double pivot of McFred, who meaty, like McTominay is meaty. McFred is not good enough.
They have Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo, which you're forgetting about, who on their day can cause a problem. Right?
You got Reece James, Kai Havertz, Jorginho, N'Golo Conte, Edouard Mendy, Thiago Silva,
and we're missing Chilwell.
Yeah, Chilwell, but Marcos Alonso can do a good job.
Yeah, but it's not of that level. This is what I'm trying to get at. It's not the same thing. You'll see what I mean.
But Jem, you've got class everywhere.
Yeah.
You've got class everywhere. Man United is just sporadic. They've only come to the fore now. Jadon Sancho scored his first goal literally last game against Villarreal. It wasn't even a good goal. It was a sweaty. So
apparently he's back though. I had some Man United fans telling me this is what he's about. This is Jadon Sancho. Blah 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 blah. Chelsea will win this game 3-0, 5-0. Some people are really confident there. 4-0. We've got 4-0 United. Matthew, fair enough, bro. It's a 4-0 goal. Reece James with a goal and an assist. Own goal and a Ziyech and Werner to score is what we've got here from Mary. Big up to Mary. Kante and Chilwell are both out, is what Declare's saying. We are still waiting for Thomas Tuchel and his press conference on that to clarify and confirm who is out. We know Chilwell is definitely out. Alonso is too slow. I agree with that one. This is always the biggest game of the season for me. I hope we destroy them, but happy with any win. Listen, I would be happy if we slapped him a good 2-3-0. Do I think it's going to be tighter than that? Yes. I do. I don't think we like when we played Juventus, I knew we were going to win 3-0. I was like, yeah, 3-0 all day. They have got rid of Ollie. And yes, Carrick ain't any better, but I watched them against Villarreal, and I thought they were quite poor, especially in the first half. Like they could have easily been 1-0 behind. But this is the kind of game where Man United could just really flick the switch. They have a good enough squad. Let's not kill their squad right now. They've got Rashford, Bruno, Ronaldo. All right, Sancho's been out of form, gets his goal. Could he be a different player? Their issue is the defense, and their issue is that they always have to try and play out from the back. They play out from the back and they try and work their way forwards. It doesn't work because they haven't got the players to do that. And I think that's the issue that Man United have at the moment, Ram. But 2-1, that's what VJ's saying. Alonso will shine, bro. Score a few goals along. I hope so. I do. I hope so. We'll see Lukaku's better, get his revenge in the game. Lukaku to score. Listen, everyone's confident Lukaku's coming back in this game. What do you think? Chelsea scored 27 goals without Romelu Lukaku or Werner in this team. What would you do if you were Thomas Tuchel?
Is he 100% fit? That's the question.
He was on the bench the last game round. The Juventus didn't play. Werner came on instead of him. He hasn't played any minutes, which tells me he maybe shouldn't start or wouldn't start in this game. But, who knows? What do you think?
I think you should stick with Havertz. And then if it doesn't work, then bring on Lukaku as that insurance policy. I think having him as an insurance policy to come on off the bench would be great. And plus, he doesn't score against big teams. So I wouldn't want to start him.
You always have to say it, didn't you? You just have to throw that little dig in. He doesn't score against big teams. His name is, Romelu Lukaku. He can't do that. Okay, listen, guys, need 200 of you here right now. Get them likes up. Let's get to 75. We're 3 away from hitting 3.2k subscribers. But I can't get there unless you guys help me get there. So please, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for GNA TV. We're going to quickly have a look at certain individual players at Chelsea that I want to just quickly delve into. And one of them that I want to ask Ram about, because I haven't had the opportunity to speak to him about, is this guy. Callum Hudson-Odoi. How impressed have you been with him?
Yeah, he's really impressed me. He started, I think, under Lampard and at the early parts of Tuchel, he was a bit of a bit part player. I didn't expect much of him. I think he was gonna leave at the summer or go on loan to Borussia Dortmund. But no, he turned it around. He's starting to put in some brilliant performances and starting to show why so many people were after him when he was about 18 or 19 years old. So, yeah, he's been very, very impressive for Chelsea this season. Yeah.
Who do you think he benches at the moment? Because there's a lot of talks about Mason Mount. He's not in form at the moment. He shouldn't be playing. But do you think Cho's a certified starter based on what you've seen so far? He has to play.
Yeah, I think so. On merit-wise, he should be playing because I don't think he's done anything wrong. I think he's been quite good for you lot, and I don't think he deserves to be thrown out of the team. So yeah,
Callum, Lukaku, and Pulisic, scary sight. Yeah, look, the one thing I would say is Tuchel possesses so many options to approach this game. We do have a fully fit forward line for once, but now Christian Pulisic's fit as well. Lukaku and Werner return. We have options. We can play around with it. Like Ram said, you can play with Havertz. If it doesn't work, you can then completely switch it and try something different. And that gives Chelsea so much versatility and it makes it very unpredictable, especially for opposition teams to understand how to play against it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, they can play like that, but they can also play like that. Do you know what I mean? So it becomes a bit of an issue. Big up to Rokar again with a donation. It says Silva is the best defender in the league. This game will prove it. He is an absolute legend of defending. Look, listen, I know Ram's here. Probably a good time to actually mention it as well. I have said for most of this season, especially recently up to now, that I think Thiago Silva is at the moment the best defender in the league at the moment, based on what we've seen. I know you're going to say Virgil van Dijk and your reasons, but do you not kind of get where we're going with it? Do you understand it based on where we are in the league, based on the individual of who he is, how important he is to this team, playing back to games, which you rivals all said he couldn't do. He would only play one on one, not you specifically, but rivals had said, one on, one off, comes in, puts in a world class performance, and you look after him. We're not doing that. We're playing him consistently. He's performing consistently, and he just makes things look so easy. I mean, what's your thoughts on Thiago Silva?
I've seen the comments. You can scroll up and you can see a lot of comments of me saying stuff about Thiago Silva. Yeah, I've always said Thiago Silva has been a great defender. I do throw a little bit of shade saying that he was carried by Nesta. He was. I still remain to this day. He was carried by Alessandro Nesta at the start of his career. Which no, but that's not a bad thing because when he joined
from him, yeah, I get that. He could have learned from him like Terry did with Desai before he come in. I get that. Yeah,
exactly. So it's just funny to say it like that because it just means another completely different thing when it doesn't mean that at all. Yeah. But look, he's a veteran, and I think the 3-back system sort of helps him in a sense. It allows him to be that aggressor and make those last-ditch challenges. And I completely understand why you lot. Sorry?
Is he the best defender in the league right now?
Well, no.
Based on form, why not?
Explain. Because I still think Van Dijk has a lot more to do, and he's done a lot.
No, but currently on form right now, is Van Dijk better than Thiago Silva? Based on,
yes,
you think he is?
I think he's just a lot more dominant, and he's asked a lot more to do a lot more. So yeah, I think Van Dijk is still better than Thiago Silva on form.
I disagree with that because I do think you've leaked a lot of goals with him in the team. And I'm not saying it's all his own fault, but he's meant to be a leader. He's meant to be the guy at the back that's, controlling the tempo, of the defence moving forward, getting backwards, whatever. But Thiago Silva, for me, I don't think people actually fully understand how important he is to this Chelsea squad. He's valuable. Why do you think Tuchel? And I keep saying to people when they say, "Oh, but he's going to be benched, he's not going to play." If he's on the bench and he's not injured, Tuchel doesn't even hesitate to play him. He doesn't even think of his age. He plays him. Doesn't matter if it's back to back to back, because his leadership, his experience, his know-how. I've not seen a player. Maybe Van Dijk. Van Dijk does it as well. When people knock balls up the pitch, yeah, and you usually go jump. You jump up with the striker and you just header it anywhere. This guy's already thinking about where he's going to header it, and he knows he's going to win it. But he doesn't header it recklessly. He always headers it to one of our players gently, or he controls the ball down and play. Like, to have that ability to do that still in games at the age of 37 and make it look so easy in what he does. For me, he's world class. There's no doubts about that. He's world class. I'm not even having an argument about it. Thiago Silva world class. But currently, in the way that he's playing at the moment, he's so valuable that I think he is the best defender in the league at the moment. That's my opinion on it. Anyway, but Rokar says Lukaku may not start, but I'm saying it now. He will Chelsea the league. He will win Chelsea the league at the the OT in the ends in the second last week, and he will slide at the Stratford end is what he would do as well. As Rokar saying, big up to Rokar as well with that comment as well. But yeah, look, he's in great form. But in terms of this game, Ram, and we want to get back to this game. If Man United can beat Chelsea, where's the weakness for you? Like, when you've watched Chelsea, where do you think that they can be got at with Man United's team?
I've noticed this for quite a while. You lot don't like to switch from one side of the pitch to the other. So, like, pretend this is the pitch, right? And the ball's here, and your winger and the winger's there. You don't like that cut across the pitch. You really, really don't like it. So, like, I'll give you an example. I think City had a lot of joy from that. I think their crossfield ball from Kyle Walker to Jack Grealish, and Jack Grealish kept on going at your defense, and it was a massive problem for you lot. Federico Chiesa scored his goal from that certain situation as well, and I think Burnley did the exact same thing to you. And I sort of noticed you guys don't like it. So if Cristiano Ronaldo's on that wing and they start switching that ball, it's going to be a problem for you. I think it's going to be a proper problem for you. That's all I've seen. That's the only sort of petty or nitpicking thing I can find. But if you want to strive for perfection, you have to get at those sort of nitpicky things. So yeah, that's my only weakness I can see from you lot.
But it's look at that in itself, in not being able to really pick out an obvious weakness. I get what you're saying in terms of the switch of the ball quickly, because Part of the reason why that happens is because a lot of the times we dominate the ball, so we're always higher up the pitch. And when we are pressing and linking and moving forward, if we lose the ball in the wrong areas and the switch is there, we're always tracking back and we're always out of position. It's true.
I need like a pitch with counters so I can actually show what it's like when your full wing backs are here and then they switch it across and all your centre backs are dragged across and then all the
and they
wingers
switch it again, yeah. But they have to do it. But to do that, you have to do it quick, right? You have to switch the ball. So as soon as you get that, you have to do it again. Otherwise, if we get back in, because what happens is our wing backs slip in. Our wing backs get back in time to cover that space, and that's why the space is there. But it's just how quick do we get back to recover that? And we do have pace at the back. Let's be serious as well, which it does help us massively moving forward.
But you need the players to do that, and I don't think United have that. They don't, man. Who's going to be spraying balls across? Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Are you mad?
I mean, look, we are missing Ben Chilwell, and Alonso isn't of that level. There is levels to that position, and that position is so important in this system for me, in the way that we play, how we like to play. That position is integral to how we tick. We saw it earlier in the season before Chilwell was even playing games, and we were playing Alonso. We even decided to play Aspi as a wing back. We had no outlet. We had no, like directness. We was no, like we rely heavily on that position. And when I call people like Reece James a hybrid, I do. He's a hybrid to me. He can do everything, going forward, going backwards. He can win, strong in the air, recovery speed, score goals, whatever. For me, he can do everything. You have to be that kind of player, special to play in that system and in the way that we play. Alonso can do a job. You're right. Offensively, if you've got the ball, he can arrive in the box. He can score goals. He can assist. No issue with Alonso doing that. When we lose the ball, and then we were asking him to get back and help Rudiger, who may be two-man on him, it's not good. It's looking peak, because that's where the weakness is for us, because we will be heavily relying on going down the wing, the right wing, than we will the left with Alonso there, for me personally, because Reece James can recover and get back and forwards. I don't think we can with Alonso. For Alonso's too far forward. I don't think he can get back to recover if United hit us on the counter. And United can hit Chelsea on the counter and cause Chelsea problems.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the only thing that makes it slightly weaker in this system. If Chilwell's playing, no issues. I'll be sitting there saying maybe 2-3-0 again. But this is why I'm saying I don't think it will be as easy as people think. Maybe a 1-2-0. Yeah, cool. But it's not going to be an easy game.
I can just quickly say there's a lot of people in the comments saying a lot of stuff about BVD and all that. Yeah.
Here he goes.
I can see sentiment running his mouth about VVD wasn't he bullied by Tony. Firstly, he wasn't. And secondly, wasn't Jay Rodriguez and Matty Vidra, didn't they combine together to bully Thiago Silva for their goal?
Who's that?
Have a word with yourself, yeah?
Who?
Have a word with yourself. For Burnley. Remember that cross-field ball that I kept on talking about? And then Jay Rodriguez just chested it down, and Thiago Silva, the old man, couldn't get back, and Vidra scored for a tap-in.
Oh, stop it. Did you not see his clearance of the line from Morata, which was going in? Yeah, come on, man.
Mate. It wasn't a good finish. If it was Jota, it would have been in the net. If it was Jota, it would have been in the net.
Come on. You can't be sitting here trying to diss Thiago Silva right now. You having a
if people are going to be petty, I'm going to be petty back. That's how it works.
But let's be serious. Van Dijk has been in a lot more positions where you have conceded 2 goals or you were winning. I remember was it Brighton at home where you was winning and you end up drawing. Like you shouldn't be drawing.
That wasn't Van Dijk. It wasn't like
he was in the team. He was not playing in the team.
But he was one of the reasons why we didn't lose that game, because he kept on winning all those aerial duels.
You didn't lose, but you drew after winning. You were leading.
But he was in the right positions, and I'm very critical of my players, but that game it wasn't him. He was the only defender that was actually doing the right thing. Robertson, who was shocking that the game, kept on playing all these players on side, and Trent, even though he has a lot of responsibility going forward, he can't track back as well as other players can. And Ibrahim Konate, I don't know what he was doing. His inexperience was showing. I think VVD was the only player that was actually decent and played well. Everyone else was just meh.
Yeah. I got
Henderson was meh as well.
Got 2 comments in here back to Chelsea. One says play Sal instead. I keep seeing people saying play Sal as the left wing back. I don't know if Sal can do that. They're saying he's done it for Atletico Madrid going forwards and backwards, but I don't know. Can he do that? I've not seen it. Can he? I mean, he can defend to a degree. Has he got the pace to recover? He's not slow, I guess. Can he be quite deadly in the offensive areas? Maybe with his left foot, crossing balls in, getting in the right area. Maybe, yeah. So maybe, I don't know. Look, the only thing I would say is we've got to trust in Thomas Tuchel. We were in a position, been in positions before. We had no Lukaku and Werner, and look what we did. So yes, I am a little bit worried in terms of how we play with the system because the win backs are important. But Thomas Tuchel, I have enough confidence in Thomas Tuchel to sort it out. Like, he will find a way to get it done. For me, he's unreal as a manager. He's so good.
Hang on. I can see. I think it's Prime in the comments. Yeah, I think it's the Nexus. I think it's Prime.
Yeah.
I wasn't the one that compared Silva to VVD. I just said VVD is just the best defender in the league. Then Jem said it was Thiago Silva. I'm not comparing, and that's how the conversation started.
Yeah, but that's just my own fault, isn't it? That's what I think.
So yeah, it's not me. It's not me. It was Jem. So don't have a go at me.
Sal can play left back, yes, but he openly said he hated it, and it's primarily why he hated to leave Spain. Might be necessary evil to request him to play there at the moment. Well, we've got Alonso, so I'm sure Alonso will play there for now.
Sal sucks either way, so it doesn't matter.
This is true. Silva is better than him, but he's older than him. He's a lot older than him, so that's another thing.
I'd say. Yeah. I no one can say that Thiago Silva has career's been better. That has not been better than Van Dijk's. I think Thiago Silva's done. I don't know if he was part of the Copa America team that won it, the Brazil team that won Copa. I'm not sure if he was there, but obviously at the start of his career he was a very highly touted player. I think Van Dijk was more of a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And also Van Dijk hasn't been. I mean, people say Netherlands are a great international team, but that team that was in the mid 2010s wasn't great. They weren't great. So yeah.
So Rams is comparing, that's prime. So Rams is comparing old being slow Silva to VVD. That's funny. Yeah, I am. I think he's good enough. That's just me. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is.
It's not. I'm not being petty. I know it's prime. This is defo prime. I'm not being petty. I said I was being petty and nitpicky when it comes to finding a weakness, and it is a weakness. I've noticed it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that Van Dijk is still the best in the league.
Yeah, Tuchel will play Alonso at left wing back. Yeah, I can agree maybe on that, unless he thinks of saying else. Sal would flourish in a left wing back. Think he needs this really to feel the Premier League to kick on, maybe potentially. No, it was you being petty, which you said. He is a part. Big up to Kate in the chat as well. Guys, if you are new to GNA TV, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. If we can close the gap to 75 likes. If we pass that, let's try and get to 100 likes. Nearly over 160 of you still here tuned in an hour and 20 minutes in. We are going to go back to this game very quickly. We are finishing it off soon. But in terms of winning this game, Ram, who's winning?
Chelsea.
Scoreline.
No debate. Chelsea. 2-0. Comfortable 2-0 win.
2-0 Chelsea. I mean, we looked at the probability margin. Chelsea are 61% win probability to Manchester United 17%. In terms of drawing, there's a 22% difference. I think that's a bit steep, 17%. I would have given them a little bit more than that, to be honest. They are still Manchester United Football Club. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game. They haven't got no Maguire, have they? So Maguire's not going to be playing, which in a way is a blessing to them. I'd rather Maguire played in this game because of the way he has been playing at the moment. So slightly frustrating there. Thiago Silva won the Copa America is what Kate's saying. Fair enough.
Yeah, he was a part of a team that conceded only one goal, and that one goal was a penalty. I think it was him, Alisson, Marquinhos. Yeah, those three were the main core, and they only conceded about one goal, which was a penalty, which is stupid. That was probably one of the best defensive displays that I've seen from a national team in a long time.
Guys, I put the link in the chat. You can come in. We're going to bring you in one by one this time. Not going to be an open, everyone shouting over each other one kind of panel like we usually have on GNA TV. So if you do want to come in, and if you're not a Chelsea fan or you're a Man United fan, an Arsenal fan, a Tottenham fan, whoever you support, and you'd like to come in and have a chat about your team, this is your opportunity. Click the link. It will take you directly to me and Ram. come and pose your questions in, and we'll go from there with it all. But there's the link. So if you want to get involved, click the link and come and join us. No Maguire, Shaw, or around for Man United. No Shaw as well. Blimmin' hell, I didn't know that.
Alex Telles then, who by the way has been a flop.
Yes, well, yeah, I called him a flop. They were calling him Mr. Whippy 99. Do you remember all that bollocks?
Thank you. I was on that stream. And then I remember Terry said this. Terry said this categorically, that I was scared he was going to be better than Andrew Robertson, the best left back in the world.
I remember that.
One of the
And we
most
looked at their
dumbest
assists,
comments I've
remember,
ever
and
heard.
he had better assist levels and whatever, and he was the cheapest. And they were like, "We got a bargain." You know, I remember that. I do remember that as well.
Yeah, my God.
All right, we have got people in the back. We're going to start with VJ. VJ, how you doing, mate? You're muted, VJ. If you're there. VJ?
No.
Not there. All right, so we move. Nick Blue, what are you saying?
Yeah, big up, chaps. I just want to say first, I didn't mean anything yesterday about Redneck. He said, send his kids. I was just saying, his kids can talk better than him because he's always putting Chelsea down, players down. I don't like that.
It's what it is. Let's move. Let's move on.
Anyway,
he's in the chat as well. But it's
it's not a big deal. But he took it the wrong way. Anyway, big up Rams. Rams saying Van Dijk is better than Thiago Silva. That's a criminal offence to say that.
How is it a criminal?
He's criminal. Silva is the best in the world right now. You can't do. No one would dispute it. Ask any pundit anywhere on the TV, anywhere, you're going to see what they say. Van Dijk was better before. Yes, before he got injured, he was the best. But now Thiago's taken over. And I want to say about on Sunday when we play United.
Right. Yeah.
We need to get revenge a lot after they beat. I remember they beat us 4-0 at United when we were playing good under Lampard. But last year, the VAR and the ref won the game for them at the bridge. 2-0, they beat us. That was a disgrace of a referee, a VAR decision.
Yeah. We got Anthony Taylor, by the way, as well.
Oh, no, please.
Anthony Taylor. You just triggered my mind. I forgot about Anthony Taylor. Now I get to talk about him.
I'm going to run on the pitch again like I did when I was 16 years old. Yes.
Yeah.
This is true what I'm saying. When I was Chelsea...
I forgot Anthony Taylor's playing. I've got to change my fucking result now. God.
No, you don't. You're being paranoid. You're being paranoid right now.
Just listen a minute. When we were playing Blackpool in the second division, 1979, we needed to win to come up to the first division. And I was in the old West Stand. I was only 16.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember Ian Britton, one of our old boys.
Yeah.
Great little Scottish player, similar with Billy Gilmore, same height, same sort of player like Billy Gilmore. He was clean through, and this Blackpool defender, I forgot his name, he kicked him, he could have broke his leg. And then I just went berserk and ran onto the pitch. I was chasing the Blackpool player. Anyway, you can go back and see me on YouTube if you want. I'm on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen. Yeah.
We're going to do a preview of this, though, Nick Blue, as well. Yeah, remember that. This is just a quick. We are going to do a preview of this game tomorrow. Or Saturday,
I know. Well, I think we need revenge. I think we will get it 4-0.
4-0. Wow,
yes.
You've heard it. Nick Blue with the 4-0. And then quickly, Nick Blue, before I have to shoot you off because I've got other people in the back, what do you think of the other games? So, Man City, West Ham. Tell us.
Man City, West Ham. I think City, they're on fire at the moment. 2-0 City.
2-0 City. What about Liverpool? Liverpool versus Southampton.
Yeah, Liverpool got to win easy. 3-0.
3-0. What about Arsenal versus Newcastle?
I could see a Newcastle draw. 1-1.
Wow. He's going for a draw for Newcastle. Okay, I hear that. What about Spurs to Burnley?
Tottenham are going to get smashed 2-0 by Burnley.
There you go. Big up to you, Nick. Nice to see you. I'll see you either tomorrow or next day when we do the preview as well.
Yeah,
big up to you,
guys.
man.
Yeah,
Take care.
Big up, Rob.
See you later. See you later, Nick. Take care. Next up, we have got VJ in the house. What are you saying, VJ?
Hi, Rams.
You all right? How you doing?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, mate, your mic's always a problem when you come on. I
Oh
don't know
my
why.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't hear you.
I hope you can hear me better now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Perfect. Ram, so one thing that I wanted to talk about was on the Van Dijk and Silva situation. I'm not going to be like insensitive in terms of this comparison. First of all, for me, Van Dijk has a different style of play, different style of defense. He's physically strong. He imposes his his strength on the defensive line, and he is individually a better player. Silva is intelligent. He knows where exactly to position himself, and he knows where exactly the balls are going to be, coming in, and he knows how to organize a defense. And that is where I see Silva to be a bit more better. This is how I'd put it, right, Rams? Silva is a better leader of defense than Van Dijk, but Van Dijk on an individual scale is physically more imposing than Silva. So that's how I put it. So again, I don't want to really draw a comparison between these two because both of them have different sets of attributes and they contribute to their respective team in different ways. So I kind of feel it would be sort of not right to compare both of them. So
I'd say it's the other way around. I'd say it's the other way around. I think Thiago Silva, in terms of like ground duels, is better than Van Dijk. Aerially, I don't think he's better, but that's down to a physical basis. But I think Van Dijk is more of a leader, a guy that drops back and becomes that last man of defense. I think I disagree with you. I think I think it's the other way around, really. But that's the point. You're right. They're different defenders. They are different defenders.
Exactly, they're different defenders. I mean, the reason why I say in terms of being a leader of the pack is because I've seen these defenders perform shambolic before Silva came in. Silva was the reason why this defense is organized at this point in time. It was not because of Lampard. I disagree with that. I mean, I know Lampard has contributed a lot in terms of bringing these players in. But if this defense is one of the strongest defenses to be given to, the credits are to be given to Silva. He was the best person to organize this defense. I believe even if he's not on the pitch, his influence has always been on the pitch, and he leads the line even from outside. So that's why I see Silva to be a better leader of men. I'm not saying that Van Dijk did not do the same thing with Liverpool, but then the level that has been escalated in terms of the players playing without Silva, and now they are the level of performance that these guys are putting in. That has been superb. Which when we compare to Liverpool, I wouldn't really call it. It was due to Van Dijk. You get my point now, right?
BJ, going on to these games for over the weekend, you've got Liverpool, Southampton. What are you thinking?
Liverpool.
Okay, fair enough. What about the
games in Anfield as well?
Sorry?
Continuously playing at Anfield as well. This is the third game on the trot.
Yeah, I mean, the next couple of games we're going to Milan, and then we're going to go to Wolves. The Wolves. Yeah. So we've got a couple of away games. Don't worry.
What about Man City versus West Ham?
This is going to be a difficult game. To be honest, I think it will be 1.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. I hear that. Burnley, Tottenham?
2-1.
2?
Right, so 2 Tottenham.
Wait. Jem just knocked it. Jem was just cutting stuff out of the call. Did you say it was a 2-1 win to Tottenham?
Yeah, and there's an Arsenal game. I'm not sure
Yeah,
who
I pressed
Arsenal
the
is
wrong
playing
button,
against.
didn't I? Such a donut.
What was that last one? The Newcastle win, yeah?
No,
Yeah,
I'd never say that. Oh,
what
Arsenal,
about Chelsea,
Newcastle.
Man United? Chelsea, Man
Man
United.
United is a 2-1. The reason why I think 1 is because of that one guy, Ronaldo. I mean, he's still going to get a goal from somewhere. So 2-1 probably.
2-1. Fair enough. All right, VJ, I'm going to have to let you go. I've got people in the back, mate. I'll talk to you in a bit, yeah? See you later on.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Right, next up, we've got Couch Critic. What are you saying, Couch?
Yo. What's up, fellas? You good?
All good,
what's
my
up,
man. All
what's
good.
up?
How you been?
Oh, still buzzing after that 4-0 shellacking.
I was buzzing, and then I got the news of Chilwell, and it kind of just like you saw me
up,
yesterday.
bro.
I had so much energy.
You will be fine.
No, it's a tough loss, but next man up. You know how we do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tuchel's he's got the whole squad singing from the same hymn book, so I'm not worried about it as much as I'm disappointed. I don't know where this Van Dijk. They're both quality defenders. Like they play completely different play style. Like Thiago Silva's silky on the ball, composure, poise, all of these things. Van Dijk's a stopper. He's the guy that like you put in the back and he just breaks up everything. He's the last line of defense. He's not the guy that's going to be like orchestrating from the back, silky passes here and there.
I disagree. It's the I really do think it's the other way around. It's the other way around.
Nah, you can't tell me that that Van Dijk is a silky ball winning, like a ball progressing like libero.
I think it's the other way around. It really is.
So how do you see Thiago Silva then?
I think Thiago Silva is like a stopper, like an aggressive centre back that comes out.
Aggressive centre back. He's the most poised and calm defender we have in our setup.
Yeah, he is.
You're saying Rudiger is the aggressive one.
Compared to Van Dijk, he's the aggressive one.
He ain't. No, he ain't.
Yeah, I think so.
Man, Thiago Silva's game is all about him doing things at his own speed, and
Exactly.
that's what makes him world class.
Nah,
like that's how good he is at what he does. Because
like physically, like Van Dijk is miles clear. He's got more physical presence and whatnot, aerial ability, but like everything else, the ball winning and like just like he looks like a midfielder playing at center back for me when I watch Thiago Silva. You can't say the same thing about Van Dijk for me. He's a stopper to me. Like very similar to what you would see in like a John Terry from like, mid 2000s or something like that. Like, a guy that's imposing, strong on the tackle and whatnot. But like in terms of ball playing ability, come on, there's no question that.
Have you seen Van Dijk's long balls? I'm sorry.
Star, are we really talking about this still? Are we really talking about Van Dijk and Thiago Silva?
I have to say, long passing wise, Van Dijk is better than Silva. His long balls are freaking amazing.
Did you see his ball the other day to Callum Hudson-Odoi where he knocked it over the top?
Van Dijk does crossfield balls to Mo Salah every day of the week.
No, he don't. He always plays it out from the back and does a sideways pass to Henderson.
Stop it.
That's what he does.
Stop it.
Come on, man. He does it. He does do it, but he doesn't do it as frequent as you make him sound like he does it. I'm not having that.
Yeah, it's not like it's not in his locker, but he's not as nice as Silva with that.
He's like,
come on, no.
Come on now. You know what? I'm gonna look up some stats for you because I'm gonna go to Football Reference and show you what's really real about that. But beyond that, listen, I'm saying Chelsea, Man United is gonna be closely contested. I think Chelsea have to learn again how to play with a new left back, a left wing back, and that we know how crucial those positions are. So there's going to be something there where we're going to have a bit of an adjustment to find the rhythm again within the squad if Alonso plays, or even Azpilicueta for that matter. So it's not going to be a 4-0, 5-0. I don't think it's going to be. I'm going to say a narrow 2-0. It'll feel closer than 2-0.
Yeah. Well, in terms of the other games, Liverpool, Southampton, what are you saying?
Star, I don't care about these other games, man. You know that, right? I'll give Liverpool 2-0, 3-0.
What about Man City, West Ham?
That's going to be a 2-1. I think West Ham have something there, though. I think they can do it especially because Man City play in the midweek. I'm going to go West Ham 2-1.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Are we doing a stream later or not?
Unfortunately, I got to go to the studio today, but let's do one next week. So maybe Wednesday.
Yeah, no worries.
After
Just
the
drop me a
midweek.
text. That's fine, mate. No problem. All right, cool. That sounds good. Declared. What are you saying?
going on?
All right, mate. How you doing?
Hey, man, like, I live for these furious, discussions, and now we're being one-on-one. I'm not really a big fan, but Ramsey's here to kind of work on, so I can look forward to that. Man's here trying to collect apologies all the time. That's why I thought you were here. I was going through my pockets to find you
know
something.
what? I've given up with the apologies. I'll do it at the end of the season. I got the receipts. Don't worry. I got the receipts.
That's when I told you. You come at the end. You wanted to cash him in quick.
Of course.
Have a little fire. You wanted to sell your crypto coins pretty quick.
Yeah, quick
Listen,
thing.
what are you saying, Declared, about the week? Then you got there's a couple of big games. What about the Chelsea Man United game? What are you feeling?
It does look like everything's against us with injuries and ref. I don't know. Rams sits here and tells us we're paranoid FC, but this guy believes in supernatural things and magic and 12th man and all this stuff. This is how Liverpool fans always talk.
Hey!
Hey,
don't do that. Don't do that. No.
There was a lucky goal, but yeah, he meant it. Like Harry Potter spun it around like this with his wand and shit.
Listen, Rams, stop it.
I know you guys believe in magic. You can't say we're paranoid FC. We win the most successful teams.
Think everyone's out to get you. You think everyone's out to
get
you.
We just say
sorry. Let me rephrase it.
Listen, Rams,
Taylor's out to get you.
This is a fact. The media were against us from the get-go, and that was evident, right? And Anthony Taylor has a track record, and we believe in statistics and facts. Like when you talk about statistics and facts, you cherry pick because they and you look at them like magical. You're not really a stat man. Like Liverpool fans like yourself are all about magic. It's lucky. That's why you believe in magic. You don't like stats and you don't believe in fatigue. You don't believe Klopp's going to do this and that. You just like magic. Everything's magic in the air, and that's why you guys get greatly disappointed. And you talk about history. Before you started winning stuff. Now all you guys used to talk about history, like it was like this land of this time of magic when it was in the air, unicorns and rainbows, and your dragons. That's what you believe in.
We won everything. When you were irrelevant.
When you won everything, when your dad wasn't even alive. That's when you started.
My dad was alive. My dad was alive. Don't worry.
When he was young. when he was young.
Listen, going back to this game, Chelsea Man United declared quickly. What's your thoughts on that?
Look, I'm looking for a Lukaku revenge, and I said it, and he needs a revenge for Man United, making him overeat and making him weigh a lot.
Score against the top six, and he can't score against big clubs, as everyone's saying.
Yeah, but this is not a top. Man United is not a top 6 team at the moment. And I'm not going to count him as a top 6 team. And Lukaku has, there has to be something boiling there, some hate for his time there, because it looked like the way he made it sound like he didn't have a good time there. So I'm looking for a 4-1. Just a little Anthony Taylor would give for them 1 goal, but a revenge on our part. And look, if anyone watched a Villarreal game, even though Man United won, Villarreal was so unlucky, and De Gea had to pull out saves from everywhere. And if this, he needs to have a classy scoreline. De Gea needs to be at his best, man of the match best, to keep this scoreline from not happening. The one I predicted.
Yeah, I hear that.
I don't have that.
Yeah, but we're going to do the preview properly declared on this one anyway, so we'll delve into it into more detail another day. But in terms of Man City and West Ham, what are you saying?
This one's. I'm looking forward to this one because West Ham's that type of team that are just perfect to counter Man City. Just hit them on the counter, on the break, and West Ham are great in form. I think West Ham take this one 2-1.
Nice. And do you expect Liverpool to beat Southampton as well?
Of course not. Rams is here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Southampton 2-1.
No, you're actually pathetic.
And Arsenal?
You're actually pathetic.
Arsenal.
Arsenal. Look, I think I said in the chat. I rate Newcastle's defense at the moment worse than Norwich, because Norwich got a new coach and they look a lot better. So that defaultly makes Newcastle the worst. I think Arsenal have a field day in this game. I don't like to say it, but and they need to bounce back after that schlock in their cop. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I what did I say before? I think they'll score 4 or 5 in that game.
Fair enough. Declared. See you in a bit, bro. Thank you for coming on. I'll see you tomorrow or Saturday when I do my stream. Probably tomorrow night, actually.
easy.
Straight, but I'll give you a shout. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Laters.
Cheers. Josh, what are you saying, my man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad at all. Yeah, tell us your thoughts. What's on your mind?
I can't lie. I wanted to talk about the Thiago Silva Van Dijk thing.
Oh, believe me now. You come in for that as well. All right. Go on.
Now, I just think it's quite it's a bit disrespectful, don't you think? Like Van Dijk has only won one Premier League and one Champions League, and we're going to compare him to Thiago Silva. I think, literally based off CV alone, Thiago Silva is the better centre back in it.
So don't compare any of your midfielders to Thiago ever again. Don't ever do that. If you're going to do that,
we can. We've got N'Golo Kante. We've got N'Golo Kante.
What the amount of league titles that Thiago has?
We've got N'Golo Kante. What are you talking about?
Sorry, Jam. Kante's won a Premier League. He's won a Champions League. He's won a Europa League. And I think he's won the FA Cup as well. So we can, Liverpool have won 2 trophies in however many years, and they've been put on this pedestal that they shouldn't really be on.
Thiago's won many Bundesliga titles, won many La Liga titles with that brilliant Barcelona team, won 2 Champions League titles and multiple domestic cups.
And that's fine. If you want to use that to say,
there you go, Ram.
If you want to use that to say Thiago's better than Kante, that's fine, innit? But what I'm saying is, based off CV alone, based off personal achievements, based off trophies won, Thiago Silva is clear of Van Dijk. So then when you do the ability for ability for ability, it's a lot closer than what I think everyone's making it seem. But I think the achievement that Thiago Silva's had in his career makes him the overall better centre back now and when he retires. Van Dijk has to do so much more to just catch up to Silva. He's not even there yet.
Overall centre back.
Pad in German Leeds. Ram, they're coming for you today, bro.
But then, if you're going to use this whole career-wise, then Trent is better than Reece James,
and that's fine.
He's lasted longer and he's won more.
That's fine, and I don't disagree.
He's only one Premier League away anyway, so
yeah, literally. If Reece James wins the Premier League, if Reece James wins the Premier League
for 4 seasons.
Yeah, but he would have won a Champions League and a Premier League in the space of what?
Exactly.
Won 2 whole seasons. Not even that. I'd say, 2 whole seasons.
No, sorry, 4 seasons as a wing back, yeah? Wing back compared to full back. Don't try it. Yeah.
What do you mean, bro, listen. Wait, Rams, my thing is,
really going to go through it?
If Reece James goes and wins the Premier League this season, him and Trent are on the same level. You can't say one's better than the other.
No, he's not. He's not, because one's been playing for 2 seasons running and the other's been playing for 4 seasons.
And look what they've achieved. Look what they've achieved in that time.
What? Trent went to the Champions League final and won a Champions League, finished second, won the Premier League the year after.
I don't think you're listening,
won the
bro.
World Cup and everything else.
What I'm saying, Reece James is one trophy away.
Mate.
Reece James.
But he will pass him, you know that. I'm telling you, Ram. Trent.
What's that?
Reece James will pass Trent. You know that in longevity.
Yeah, facts.
In terms of winning things, he will. He'll win more.
He will.
I'll tell you why. Because when you look at the status of both our football clubs, Liverpool Football Club, right? Yes, you have won things in a short stint of time, but you don't really have the longevity element to you. Chelsea do. Chelsea will continuously each and every season go and strengthen their squads to go and compete. You guys don't want to do that. You just want to rely on Mo Salah and Mane until they get 40 years old and think that you're going to continue winning at the toppest level. That's what you do. We're different. We're different animals. And that's why the longevity type thing in terms of winning over their careers, I think you'll see that you'll win more trophies. They're more
but then again, we don't know what the future will hold.
Of course not.
Of course not.
We don't, because we might change and buy someone who ends up being the next Messi.
But based on what I'm seeing now, I think Reece James will win more than what Trent will do in the longevity element. That's my opinion. I might be wrong. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying. From what
Liverpool won 2 trophies in how many years? And apparently they're this amazing team that should be feared. Hell no, bro. No, it doesn't work like that. You man went 30 years not winning nothing, and then you're all big.
Now he's gone back to the.
I'm just saying, it's facts though. It's facts.
It's not facts, man.
Ram's had enough.
I'm just saying, yeah.
It's the dumbest regurgitation I've heard. And then if we do win another Premier League, it'll be 2 Premier Leagues in 30 what years? It's just gonna be the same bullshit.
Because you
every
have to
year.
keep winning
You haven't
over
won a
time.
Premier League in the last. When was the last time you won a Premier League?
4
Mate?
years.
4 years ago.
Tell me.
4 years.
4 years ago. When was the last time we won a Premier League? Hush your
I don't know,
drums. Thank you.
2, 3.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So-
before that, it was 30
Before
years.
that, how
What are you
long
talking
ago?
about?
I don't care. You like to
It
go.
matters,
You like to
though,
go off
that
what
matters.
happens now. Yeah, you like to go off what happens now. But we won a Premier League before you.
And right now, we're the
30
Champions
years
League
ago.
holders.
so
Right
dumb.
now.
30 years
Right now, we're the
ago.
Champions League
Ram, we might
holders.
be 4 or 5 years that we don't win a title, but you are 30 years. I was 30 years ago. I was
But
1
we
year
won a
old.
title in the
I was
last
a
2 years.
baby.
I wasn't born. I wasn't born. I'm just saying, Rams. Can I say one more thing?
In the
Yeah?
last 2 years, bro.
Can I say one more thing, please, bro? If we had a job interview, yeah, and it was Silva and flipping, what's his name, Virgil van Dijk, yeah, and you look at the CV, who are you picking?
What now?
Yeah,
Based on
right
now?
now, you look at both the CVs, who are you picking based off their CV?
What if I was to sign them?
Yeah, like, you know, like a job interview, sign them, whatever.
And
You don't know
I'll
nothing
take Van
about them.
Dijk because he's younger.
Ah, okay,
Well,
fairs.
Well, that's
Fairs.
fair enough. I'll take
Fairs.
that. I hear that. I hear that, but that's about it. But
I've always said Thiago Silva's career is great. I mean, he was carried by Alessandro Nesta. But
when's the last time you won a Champions League,
there's
Ram?
no shame in that. There
When's
is
the
no
last
shame
time
in
you won
that.
a
'Cause
Champions
Nesta's
League,
won the
Ram?
vote.
When's the last time you won a Champions League, Ram?
When's the last time I won the Champions
Oh
League?
yeah, we won it last season. Anyway, right, going back to Josh, let's get away from this whole conversation. Chelsea, Man United. What's your thoughts on that game?
Oh, bro, I wish they didn't sack Oli, man. I wanted to finish them in it. So hopefully, I'm just hoping that this team can finish them. I want like 2-3 goals in it, 2 minimum, 3, and then obviously Anthony Taylor tax. I think that's his name. So that probably like a 3-1, the 3-1
Yeah.
win.
Fair enough. Was you upset with the Chilwell news as well? No,
Bro,
Alonso's...
I don't think my heart has broken like that since my girlfriend left me, man. Like, what the hell? Like, I woke up the next day and I felt like crying because now I have to use Marcus Alonso.
What's this melodrama, man? What is wrong with you?
Melodrama?
What is wrong with you lot? This is some melodrama at its finest.
Have you not
Yeah,
seen
you
his
lost
performances?
Chilwell, but you're still one of the best teams in the world to do something. So do
Bro,
something.
come on, man.
Do something. Alonso
to Chilwell was a big drop off, man. Come on.
No, it's not. It's not because people said Alonso as a left wing back is great.
I don't rate Alonso one bit, by the way. I think he's crap.
I think he's average. I think, do you know what it is with Alonso, right? He's got this bracket, and that's all he hits. He can't do any more than that. It's just this bracket. Like,
This reminds me of the slander that Jorginho got last season, at the start of last season.
What?
Nah, man.
But the thing is, I think Jorginho has been played very well, but I still don't think he's amazing. Some people think he is. Like,
Reminds me of the slander. People wanted him out.
Yeah, but then we wanted Rudiger out and look at his performances. Like, it happens, Ram. Like, that's normal, isn't it? Especially for a team like us.
Being melodramatic for the...
No, but we've always been like that, haven't we? Mate, you
standards,
guys had a funeral for the Van Disney last year. I remember that. There were the candles and that when he got injured. They were like praying for him. That was funny, man. That was funny shit. Not gonna lie.
Look, man, we
you know what I'm talking about.
Unlike you, we love our players. So yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I love all my players.
Man City, West Ham.
I'm gonna go for a West Ham win here. You know, I need Man City to drop some points.
Yeah, we do, don't we? And Liverpool, Southampton.
Southampton, please beat this team.
Come on, Livermento, Brozier, sort us out. The Chelsea youth.
The agent.
Keep hoping, bro. Keep hoping, man.
Listen, Josh, we're going to do a preview for the Chelsea game, so we'll be able to go into more detail probably tomorrow evening, it's looking like. So, yeah, if you're about, you're always welcome to join, mate, as always.
Cheers,
so, yeah,
mate.
thanks for coming in, mate.
Thanks.
Take care, yeah? See you later. Mr. Prime, we finish off on you. Are you still there, Prime? Prime?
I think he's muted all of us.
Prime! Did you not hear me?
Yeah, I think I'm lagging out. I'm not sure. I think I'm lagging out. I'm not sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you, but can you hear us?
I can hear you guys, but I think I'm lagging out. I'm not entirely sure.
Come out and come back in.
Come out and come back in. We'll wait.
I think I'm lagging out. I'm not entirely sure.
Prime, come back in. Come back in.
Hold on.
He's been sitting there that whole time and he's just realised he's lagging now. Why didn't he go out and come back in 20 minutes ago? Ram has put Prime asleep, is what they're saying there. Ask Ram how he felt when Van Dijk got injured.
You know what? I was still hoping that our boys could do a job, but then they ended up getting injured. So I was like, "Fuck it." I don't give a shit
You got
anymore.
tarnished without him, didn't you? You struggled, but you still got in the Champions League at the end of it. But
Yeah, because of Thiago. Yeah. And Allison.
because of
And that
Thiago was shocking that season.
Nah,
Anyway, but
Thiago
anyway,
was balling, sourcing out
you-
that last 10 games.
are you here
Prime,
now,
can you hear
Prime?
us?
Prime?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Why?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you and see you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Yeah, you can hear us. Yeah.
Are we in
Yeah, I
sync?
can hear you guys. Yeah,
We're in sync.
I can hear you guys.
Yeah.
Brian, what you saying then? What's going? What have you come in to say? What do you want to talk about? Talk about the games? You're going to come and talk about the Van Dijk stuff? What do you want to talk about?
No, I only started listening about 5-10 minutes ago. I
Wow.
think too many people called in about the whole Van Dijk, Silva stuff.
Look, I agree with most of them because most of them said they're different
You
defenders.
guys froze. What?
I said, the funny thing is, I agree with most of them because they say they're different defenders. They are very different defenders to one another, in my opinion. That's what I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know. I have my opinions of them, but I'm not really going to get into that. What are some of the other games that you guys previewed?
We did the Arsenal-Newcastle one, which I think Arsenal will scrape through. And
they're here. So we got the main ones is obviously the Arsenal-Newcastle, Liverpool-Southampton. You think they'll win that?
I think that Liverpool will win, but I think that'll be a high-scoring game. I think
fair enough.
Liverpool's defense is leaky, and Southampton can get goals from that. I think Arsenal-Newcastle, if they're not careful, that could be a slip-up.
Really?
Because they're expecting. Yeah, because I don't know, for some reason they think losing to Liverpool is a free hit, which is
not
odd to me. Like, I'd understand if they had lost 1-0. If they had lost 1-0 or 2-0 or 2-1 against Liverpool and they'd given it everything and put Liverpool under cost for about 20-30 minutes or whatever, then you can come out and say, yeah, we gave it our all, but Liverpool clearly are just better than us. I understand. We weren't expected to win anyways, so fair enough. But you can't lose 4-0. Even if you're expected to lose a game, you cannot be battered 4-0 like that and say it's a free hit. Like, that doesn't stand. And I was the same way under Lampard when our first game we lost against United 4-0, and people were saying, "Oh, we gave it a good fight and it was a free hit." Like, you don't get battered like that. The same way if last season with Spurs in the cup final before they sacked Jose, and they played it, and after they lost, a few of them were saying, "Oh, it's a free hit. It doesn't matter." There's no such thing as free hits in big games like that, especially when you're supposed to be a big club.
My question is right to you, and I'm going to pose that to maybe everyone as well. I've been hearing, I was hearing from a lot of Arsenal fans at that moment. It was the best time to play Liverpool Football Club. They just lost to West Ham, and I think we can get at them. And in my personal opinion, Liverpool won great that game. The first half, I think we weren't that good. I think the best player on attacker in our team was Sadio Mane, and even then he wasn't that great. He was giving the ball away a lot. Do you think Arsenal fans are just papering over the cracks and saying, "Oh, it's Liverpool, they're a great team"? When personally, for me, I didn't think they played that well, and we still battered them 4-0.
I think Arsenal's run they've been on, saying they've turned a corner. Like the same thing has been happening continuously for, what are we in, 21? For about a decade, for about a decade now, where they will go on a little bit of run of form, beating teams they should be beating, but within that run, it's actually quite fake because they'll get little draws here and there or scrape through wins. Then they'll play a big team, they'll play a Chelsea or United or City or Liverpool, and they'll get beat 3-1 or 3-0 or 4-0, 5-0. but then they'll say, "Oh, you're expected to lose anyway." But going into that game, it's all like, "Oh, Tavares is better than Shimikas, or Partey is the best DM in the league. He's better than Jorginho, or Smith Rowe is on form just as good as Bruno and stuff." Yeah, it's all that sort and this unbeaten run they just went on, quote unquote. The 2 tests they've had has been Brighton and Crystal Palace. Spurs they beat all the time apparently, so that doesn't count.
No, we mentioned that.
Leicester have been poor. Leicester have been poor this season, so you can't count that as a tough test. And they haven't played Villa yet. I don't think they played Villa. Like, the only tough test they've had is Brighton and Crystal Palace. Brighton had a makeshift back four, and they were missing their best midfielders, and they scraped the draw. Crystal Palace, they were playing without Zaha in that team, and Arsenal just about got the draw in the end. So realistically, the 2 tests they faced, they struggled against. Then they get all gas saying, "Oh, Liverpool are in this poor run of form, can go and play them," and they got battered. Like, I expected a draw. I said 2-2 or 1-1 because I figured, as great as Liverpool are going forward and they'll score goals, Liverpool's defense is also something you can get at if you actually try. But they didn't even try it. And that's the thing of, this project or whatever you're trying to go on with these young players that are with young players, they can start off brightly. Well, they're not developed properly. They can just burn out and stagnate. We've seen it in the past happen with Arsenal plenty of times. Iwobi, when he broke through, he was better than Smith Rowe. He was better than Saka. He was one of the brightest talents in the actual Premier League. Then he eventually just stagnated. Theo Walcott, one of the brightest talents in the Premier League. Same with Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, etc., etc. But they don't develop these players properly. I like Ben White, but he's going to end up being the same. He's going to end up stagnating and being like Rob Holding and Callum Chambers. Gabriel, you're going to eventually see he's not that good. Aaron Ramsdale has started off brilliantly. But when they bought Leno, is it 4 years now? They were saying he's the 3rd best goalkeeper in the league behind Alisson and Ederson.
No, they said they were better. They said they were better than Alisson.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, last season, now all of a sudden he's bad? And then now you bring in Ramsdale, he started off great he started off well against teams he's expected to play. But now all of a sudden, in these small run of games, he's now world class and he's better than Mendy and Alisson and De Gea. But when Mendy, for the past year, his track record with what he's been doing, when Chelsea fans want to say he's the best keeper in the world on form, not just on overall, catalogue, just on form, no one's allowed to say that because, you can't judge that. He needs, you need 2 years to prove you're world class. But we can say, Ramsdale's world class, or Gabriel is one of the best centre backs in the league. He starts for anyone in the top 6. Or, all of a sudden Tavares is better than Tierney, who Tierney was supposed to be the best left back in the league. And I love Tierney myself. I was saying Tierney is the best left back in the league. But now all of a sudden it's, Tavares, Tomiyasu, who they bought 2 games in, all of a sudden he's the best, fullback in the league. No one speaks about him anymore because
Graham, have you just come out to have a go at Arsenal? Have you just come out to come?
It's the stuff I haven't been on streams much lately in the past few weeks. I've been doing stuff in my private life, but it's the stuff I've been hearing that's just annoyed me because it's the same stuff, literally copy and pasted every single year.
Yeah, but you know what Arsenal are like, though. They live in,
I know that, but the thing is, I know that, but the thing is, other fan bases also then fall for it as well, and it's they're doing okay this season, and if I don't think they will make top 4 because even with Ollie, United's team is still better, and I believe Ollie would have got out of this poor run of form. They would have went on a good run of form and got top 4. Spurs with Conte, or even with what's his name, Nuno, they were still 4th or 5th when he got sacked. So still in that race for top 4. Leicester, whether Rodgers gets them out or he gets sacked, they're still in that race for top 4. Villa with Gerrard, maybe. You've got teams in there that are better than Arsenal, and you've got managers in there that are better than Arteta. So this thing for top 4, I don't understand it. But say they do get top 4, and then they're in Champions League football. How are you going to deal with having to play on a Wednesday and then play on a Saturday? Like we've
Right.
seen it. We've seen that it just doesn't work because these players are just
Yeah.
not good enough. But it's the same repetitive cycle. But when I say all this sort of stuff, like I said last year, and I, it's not even a
You've got it
prediction
off your
because it's
chest,
just
mate. You've got it
literal
off your
copy
chest.
and paste. So when I say this sort of stuff, I'm the one that gets abused for it. And then when it actually happens, I'm like, what did
Prime,
you
we all
actually
say
expect?
it. Prime.
It's
We
not
all
that
say
hard.
it.
Like
We all say it, and we all get the same. It's not even abuse. It's just Arsenal fans. Like Beck says here, there's some of them are like the equivalent of a 12-year-old when it comes to football pundits on Twitter. Like they do not. They're just overreactionary.
And they try to overthink things. Like it's not as difficult as you think it's out to be. We're not meant to be Klopp, Pep, Allegri, Conte. We're not Mourinho. We're not meant to be these tactical masterminds. We're just meant to look at football as a simple game.
Yeah.
When we're talking about tactics and certain different players, you can have a little bit of a nitpicky saying, oh, this happens and then this centre back does this and that. But we're just football fans. We're just meant to keep it simple, not
but we don't.
Some next level manager.
And that's the real major issue, isn't it? But we are going to finish off 2 hours in. It was only meant to be an hour and a half.
but not even that. But it's like
Prime. 1 second. Sorry. Prime. We will. I know you're on a roll with Arsenal, but I want to get away from before we leave. Chelsea versus Man United. What's your predictions? He's well behind, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's.
Prime.
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know. 1-1 draw. I don't know.
Wow. Okay. 1-1 draw. Fair enough.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah. No, you're lagging. You're lagging.
1-1 draw. I don't know. I don't know. I'm one of the few people that actually still respects Man United. So I'm gonna say draw.
All right, bro. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. Smash the like button before you leave here. Let's get to 75 plus likes. Massive show today. Enjoyed it. Go and follow the Discord group as well. Go and make sure you get over there. Invite expires in 7 days. Is what Bex is saying. That's the GNA TV community. You can get involved in everyone over there. Everyone that's in the chat is literally all over there. The community is growing massive. We put streams in there. We talk football daily in there. Make sure you go and follow that. Click that link and that will take you to us. But other than that, Ram, another great show, mate. Enjoyed it as always. Nearly had 180 people all the way through with us on this one. They must have enjoyed themselves. But Clowns, Arsenal, building brilliant, speaking into top 4. Man U suck, and with all Europa, and we'll own this league. Okay, cool, Chris. No problem, bro. On that note, guys, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back for the Chelsea versus Man United match preview as well. It might not be the afternoon tomorrow. It might be the evening. It's either going to be tomorrow evening or it's going to be Saturday afternoon, like early afternoon. Why Arsenal are playing, because no one cares about them. So I'll let you know one way or the other what is going on before that. But make sure you hit the likes before you leave. Have a good rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon. Peace.